Anxiety Hacks Part 3 Refuel Frequently Asked Questions with Dr. Scott Monk. In the video series so far, we've begun discussing the 8 R's. Number 1 is refuel, eat 3 protein meals per day, no skipping. We'll soon have videos to address all of the other 8 R's. So let's begin with our frequently asked questions. We know that all of these questions surround the gentle GI and how, without the gentle GI diet, being in a state of anxiety, there's often strong blood sugar instability and whole body inflammation. That blood sugar instability leads to cellular starvation, where you're just not getting enough nutrients into your cells. That leads to cellular inflammation, tissue inflammation throughout your whole body, what we call cells on fire. The gentle GI diet is what we discuss and what we use to quench that fire and to balance blood sugar. Summary of the gentle GI diet is 1/4 of your plate should be protein, 1/4 should be starch or carbs, and 1/2 should be cooked vegetables. And that diet should be followed for 21 days. So the first question, what if I don't have an appetite in the morning? All night long, your body has been managing the adrenaline surges that began from gradually dropping blood sugar levels. These surges, while trying to sleep, prevent natural healing and restoration and train the body to stay in fight or flight, even when you have no reason to be anxious. So if your stress has passed, you're no longer dealing with a particular stressful event, but you have blood sugar issues and you don't fuel your body in the morning, you are telling your body to stay in fight or flight. Remember, blood sugar or glucose is the main fuel for every cell of the body and the brain. The brain, however, comes first. In order to keep the brain supplied with ample amounts of fuel, the body makes whatever sacrifices are necessary, usually via adrenaline surges. In extreme cases of blood sugar imbalances, this often means that muscle is broken down and used to make additional fuel by a process called catabolism. You will actually break down your muscle to make sugar for your brain. Forcing your body to eat in the morning will signal adrenaline to calm and the muscle wasting cycle to stop. It is absolutely critical to have something to eat in the morning. Have a protein, fat, carbohydrate breakfast within the first 45 minutes of being awake. A full meal is not necessary at first. If you cannot tolerate a full meal, have half or 1/3 of a meal. Just don't skip the meal entirely. Even a few bites of the leftover dinner will suffice. Intermittent fasting. Let's not do that yet. The reason why is because blood sugar stability is primary, just like we discussed above. Your body's not ready to miss meals because it has lost the ability to control the adrenaline, insulin, cortisol roller coaster. It's also likely that because of these blood sugar swings, your body is also eating its own muscle to try and make energy and provide glucose for the brain. After 6 to 12 weeks of eating breakfast, intermittent fasting could be valuable for additional digestive healing and weight loss. What about food additives? Watch out for chemicals. Poor detoxification is one of the side effects of excess fight or flight. So be sure to greatly minimize processed meats that contain antibiotics, MSG, hormones, nitrates and nitrites, and chemical preservatives, artificial flavors, or colors. These will make it harder to detoxify your tissues. Can milk substitutes be used? Yes, but only if they contain less than 10% of the RDA of calcium, specifically calcium carbonate. Dairy-free food companies often add up to 45% calcium carbonate per cup to their products. This is like taking an antacid tablet for breakfast. Increasing, not decreasing stomach acid is the goal, so if you're consuming high amounts of calcium carbonate, you're being counterproductive. What about real butter? Butter is acceptable when used sparingly. A pat on your vegetables or starch is acceptable. But remember that dairy products in general are a very bad idea. They're difficult to digest, they irritate the small and large intestine, they contain calciums that are hard to absorb and can be alkalizing to your stomach acid, and they're the number one food I have to tell my patients to stop eating in order to help them get healthy. What about nutrient loss? Yes, nutrients will be lost due to overcooking on the gentle GI diet. That's okay for now, you'll catch up on the nutrition later. First, the gut must be healed. This cannot be emphasized or overemphasized enough. The inflammation in the gut is one of the main reasons why people do not get healthy and why anxiety persists. So the gut must be healed and blood sugar levels must be stabilized. What kind of fats can I eat? Fats are the foundation of all cell membranes and the coatings of nerves, and they make up 50% of the brain. Fats are very beneficial for controlling inflammation, maintaining hormonal balance, helping with cellular detoxification, and for promoting proper brain neurotransmission. That's the electrical activity between the brain and the nerves. Therefore, be sure to include plenty of organic and cold-pressed oils such as olive oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil. Also eat avocados, eggs, nut butters, high-quality meats, salmon, and organic grass-fed butter. Can I have a shake? Non-chocolate, egg, or plant-based shakes are okay, but don't use whey. Whey comes from dairy, and most people will have some sort of subtle reaction to whey, maybe not in the short term, but they will eventually. Shakes are a good twice-a-week option so long as there is plenty of protein and low amounts of fruit mixed in. However, a straight fruit smoothie is far too disruptive to the blood sugar system. It's simply too much sugar, in this case fruit sugar, which is mostly fructose. Never forget this rule: have protein all meals. Only add a small amount of kale, spinach, or other vegetable to your shake because they're raw and we're trying to focus on cooked. So eat cooked greens instead. Can I have hot spices? Spicy foods can make inflammatory reactions in the body much worse, especially hot peppers, chai teas, and curry. So keep it simple. Use salt, pepper, and herbs throughout the gentle GI diet. What kind of soups? All soups must be dairy-free. Tomato-based soups can be inflammatory for many people because tomatoes are a nightshade. Nightshades are things like tomatoes, paprika, eggplant, potatoes, peppers. That category of foods is often inflammatory to the joints, can cause arthritic pain for a lot of people. So let's not use tomato-based soups. Stick to bone or vegetable broth soups instead. Be sure to add plenty of meat and vegetables. We need our protein balance. We need fat in there as well to keep our blood sugar stable. Can I have sugar? Sugar can be used to help calm the fight or flight response if consumed wisely. However, most people will overdo it. A barely sweetened cup of non-caffeinated tea is helpful in the morning if breakfast is within, let's say, 20 minutes or so. Never eat sweet foods by themselves, however, especially before bed. This is a great way to disrupt your blood sugar system. There must always be protein present or else glucose will spike, and then so will insulin, cortisol, and adrenaline. If this happens, major setbacks can occur. Do not eat any sweets if you have signs of yeast overgrowth, bloating after carbohydrate meals, vaginal itching, anal itching, or nail fungus. Do not eat sweets if you have insulin resistance. Tired after meals or loss of focus after meals are common with insulin resistance. The sugar rule is, if you're going to have something sweet, only do so immediately following a protein meal. Can I have fruit? Yes, but always with protein. With larger fruits like apples, pears, and peaches, have them skinless in the beginning of the gentle GI diet. The skins themselves can irritate the digestive tract. Limit your fruit to one small serving every other day. Can I have chocolate? No chocolate. This single food is enough to unbalance your chemistry. In a chapter in my book Balance called Core 4 Chemistry is a section that I wrote called 6 Ways Chocolate Hurts. Here are the 6 things. Chronic non-traumatic hip pain in women. Their hip just hurts for no reason, and it's usually the right hip. Sudden onset severe neck pain, what I call chocolate neck syndrome. Migraine headaches because chocolate increases serotonin levels, which is often a trigger for migraines. Poor estrogen metabolism because chocolate raises estrogen and interferes with estrogen breakdown. Sleep disruptions because of all the powerful chemistry that chocolate influences. And chronic muscle and/or joint pain are all related to consumption of chocolate. But I love these foods. Well, who doesn't? After you've healed your gut and calmed the fight or flight response, it may be that you can enjoy some of them from time to time. But the worse off you are health-wise, the more strictly you must avoid things that are harmful to you. Eating and drinking daily what you love is a near guarantee of addictive chemistry and the inflammatory effects it brings. Save the emotional foods for times of celebration. Eat to live. Do not live to eat. Are natural sweeteners okay? Stevia, erythritol, or monk fruit are acceptable every other day. Be sure to rotate between the various ones. For some people, honey is not a problem. For some it is. Listen to your body. It will let you know. What about fermented foods? Yes, eat sauerkraut or kimchi, the non-spicy version. Have up to 1/4 cup per day of these fermented foods. They're both naturally full of beneficial bacteria and gut healing properties. But I can't live without caffeine. Yes, you can. But if you can't live without my coffee, this shows you are relying on adrenaline surges to provide you with low-quality energy just to get going. Cut your caffeine intake in half right away as you work towards 0 caffeine within the first 2 weeks. Is coffee creamer okay? The non-dairy, plant-based, or nut-based forms do not usually contain any added calcium carbonate and may be used in a small amount. Do not use more than 1 ounce per cup. What about alcohol? Alcohol is a double-edged sword. It can help some people calm down, which is excellent for reducing the fight or flight response, help them reduce their stress. However, many people fail to get well because they enjoy a glass of wine every night. Beer and wine promote yeast overgrowth, and all forms of alcohol can stress the liver. An overworked liver can lead to trouble falling asleep, restless sleep throughout the night, and hormonal stress. Any of these can promote fight or flight. Therefore, have no alcohol for the first 2 weeks. If resuming alcohol after that time causes sleep to become disrupted, then eliminate alcohol entirely. What about snacks? Here are a few snack ideas. Some potato chips, not corn, with a few bites of meat. Maybe some rice cakes with almond butter. How about pita bread or crackers with hummus or bean dip? Hard-boiled eggs are a great snack. Basically, any carb with protein and fat, all non-dairy based, could potentially be a great snack. And finally, here's a big rule to remember. There is no perfect food or supplement. All foods require processing by the body. All foods require the use of additional nutrients to help process them. Therefore, eating the same thing every day disrupts normal physiology in the long run and leaves you deficient in one or more nutrients. Rotating foods is ideal. The same is true for supplements. Supplements are meant to fill in empty buckets and balance unbalanced teeter-totters. So we want to fill up our empty buckets with things like vitamin A, zinc, C, echinacea in times of colds, but we don't want to continue taking those things all the time. You might find genetically that you're deficient in one or more areas, and so there could be a case where there's a supplement you need long term. But in most cases, you want to rotate your foods, you want to rotate your supplements, and or with supplements, if you've been on them a long time, you want to take a supplement holiday. Maybe you take them 5 days a week and take the weekends off. Maybe you take them for 3 weeks straight and take a week off. But give your body a break. Let it recalibrate without any additional support, and always rotate your foods. That's the end of this video. The frequently asked questions related to refueling and the gentle GI diet. Don't forget to subscribe to Health Makes Sense, or visit drscottmonk.com and pick up a copy of my book, Balanced. We'll see you at the next video.